What's going on, Internet? I'm Christopher Peterson, and you're checking out our Nerd EXP E3 coverage. I'm hanging out with Alex.
Oi.
And Brooks.
Hey.
So yesterday, we went through the kind of day zero with the EA, Ubisoft, Sony, and Microsoft. Today, we're tackling Nintendo and Square-Enix's press conferences. Nintendo's is technically a Nintendo Direct, but it's the same spirit. So Alex, you're Mr. Nintendo. What was your favorite thing out of that Nintendo conference?
Let's not say what our favorite thing was and say what our reaction was, because for me I was underwhelmed.
That's fair. What were you expecting? Like, what would have wowed you?
Well, we wanted a new Metroid, and we got a new Metroid.
We got two.
Not a Metroid like we wanted. We should have been more specific. It was a multiplayer party Metroid. I also wanted a new Animal Crossing, and on Wii U, and we technically got that, but not a real Animal Crossing.
Again, you got two.
The game. Yeah, great. I was underwhelmed. We didn't really get megatons, but Nintendo still brought some really good looking games. Like, this is the first time we saw Star Fox. Star Fox Zero looks awesome. I can't wait to play it. We got our first English footage of Yokai Watch. Love it. We got more footage of Super Mario Maker. That's Game of the Year material for me. We're looking forward to it in September. And then we got a new Paper Mario and Mario & Luigi crossover. That made me happy. That was not something I ever expected we'd see. But yeah, compared to Sony and Microsoft, I thought Nintendo's show was the weakest. And Satoru Iwata this afternoon said as much on Twitter. They said that they were going to take feedback into consideration for next year. So we can hope and dream.
Yeah, I think I think that's all a fair statement. And I know that they had I'm going to mispronounce it, Yokai Watch. But I mean, I almost think that it's unfair to compare Nintendo to Microsoft and Sony. And I know they're all the first-party studios, but Nintendo is basically out there only promoting Nintendo games. So
that's not true, because Skylanders was in this.
It's 95% true.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. There was Skylanders, but I guess that's what I'm trying to say is they need third-party support. I feel for them to be like on that Microsoft and Sony constant stream of punches and announcements. I feel like they're more like EA and Ubisoft and Bethesda. I mean, Bethesda only showed 6 games. I mean, Nintendo at least showed double that. What were your thoughts on the conference in general, Brooks?
Presentation was quite underwhelming. I mean, it was interesting to see the little puppets transform into Star Fox characters, but wasn't that great all the rest of the way. And so far as Star Fox Zero, great, we get a Star Fox game, and it looks okay, but it kind of seems like something that was on the N64 or something, or the GameCube, and it was just touched up a bit. I like the fact that the ships transform, though. That's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping for the 3DS Hyrule Warriors looks pretty good. I'm a major Dynasty Warriors fan, but I've never really played any Dynasty Warriors game on a handheld. I'm usually all console, so I'm not sure how to feel about that one. But it looks like it's pretty good. They don't have the DLC from the Wii U version, so why not?
Yeah, I think for me, the Nintendo conference delivered. Like it actually was more than I expected. I thought we were gonna get Star Fox, Woolly World, and that was pretty much gonna be about it. And they were gonna spin their wheels with some other like 3DS games or just re-show footage from Smash Bros. But I mean, they actually had a lot of announcements that I don't think anybody saw coming. But like to Alex's point, it's the properties we want, but not the games we want, which completely missing the point.
To add something on to what Alex was talking about Skylanders, there's 2 new figurines coming out, Donkey Kong and Bowser, and they're supposed to be usable for both Skylanders and Amiibo-based supported games.
and I will not be buying them.
But you buy other amiibos.
Yeah, but I'm not a Skylanders person. I like the Smash Brothers amiibo line, but this is obviously a way for Nintendo to push people to their platforms to play Skylanders. It'll work for some, it won't work for everybody. It's kind of like their lineup in general. They'll work for some people, like the hardcore Nintendo fans, but they don't have the broad appeal of a Mario Kart 8, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you completely. I guess I always kind of put you in that hardcore Nintendo camp, so I thought you would have been more enthralled.
Not necessarily.
I think the Skylanders news is great. I think it shows Nintendo is playing well with others and is willing. Oh,
I think you mean the word. You're searching for the word "paying well" to others.
It just I feel like Nintendo is typically so isolationist. So anytime that they work and collaborate, even if a check crossed the line with somebody else, I take it as a good sign that they're willing to work with third parties at some point and start bringing those third-party games back to their platform. They can't do it alone. I mean, they can because they have been, but it's not ideal. So going through the announcements, we kind of touched upon this, but Star Fox Zero. I agree with Brooks' sentiment. This game does not look great, and but it is Star Fox, so from that, fans of the series should be good. I think it's weird that you fly the ship like normal Star Fox, but then you can use the gamepad to target in where you shoot. So even if you're facing, kind of to the left, you can shoot kind of to the right, which almost makes it feel more like a first-person shooter than a flight sim.
Okay, well, I didn't think it was weird myself because we've had a year to get conditioned to the tech demo that we saw last year at E3. And to your point of it looking underwhelming, I think it'll be fun to play even though it's not pushing graphically because it's doing 60 frames per second on both the TV and the gamepad, which is that's a forgivable reason to not push graphical fidelity. What I think it looks great because there was not a single animal outside their cockpit the entire gameplay. There's no on-foot combat to harass the players with.
And maybe I haven't looked at the Star Fox crew enough. Have their headpieces always looked like Scouters from Dragon Ball Z?
Yes.
Okay, it just looked so much more prominent in this footage.
Stylization, that's the thing.
Fire Emblem was announced. I love the Fire Emblem series. This looks like more Fire Emblem, so it looks like they're staying true to what that audience wants.
Oh yeah, Japan knows that for sure because they're getting it very soon. We don't get it till 2016 though.
I mean, what's the general feel from you guys about those kind of announcement dates? Woolly World, Yoshi's Woolly World especially. Game looks great, lots of character, lots of charm. I think that it looks like a very adorable Yoshi's Island. But I mean the fact that Japan's getting it, I don't remember exactly, but in the next couple weeks.
July. Europe gets it in the next couple of weeks.
And then we don't get it. U.S. doesn't get it until October. I mean, if go on.
I have a theory about that, and I think it's that Nintendo of America wants to produce more Yoshi amiibo to supply for the launch compared to other regions.
Well, that'll be a first. For amiibos to be in stock.
I think they just want to get it right. And it might just be marketing too. They want to spread out their grains a little.
Well, my standpoint, Nintendo has a really good reputation for keeping up with their release dates, so I'm not worried about any of those. I am kind of hoping to see Xenoblade Chronicles, though.
Right, you are. It comes out in December.
Yep, December 4th. I'm be enjoying myself freeloading off of somebody with a Wii U. It's gonna be great.
Any other of these announcements that you'd want to call out, Alex?
Oh, we didn't talk about Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes?
Oh yeah, Force Wars.
actually 3 swords now.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I'm just.
It is the same idea, but it's
Yeah.
now 3 players because they're
Mhm.
using the same graphical engine as A Link Between Worlds, and they thought 4 characters was too tall. It's a complicated game when the way they explained it. I think when you play it, it'll take on more of a shape.
Yeah, so Alex touched upon it. It is the same aesthetic as A Link Between Worlds, but multiple players at the same time. Did they confirm, I apologize for not knowing this, if you play by yourself, if there will be AI being the other 2?
I think they touched upon that, but they really want people to play the game together. It's such a pressure on all Nintendo games to have multiplayer now.
I skipped 4 Swords, so I don't think that I will be jumping into this. I like my Zelda single player.
4 Swords is actually fun. Actually, if you get people together for it, it's pretty fun. So this one might be all right, I guess. It's a Legend of Zelda game. I mean, how bad could it be?
It's not a traditional Legend of Zelda game, but it is a Zelda.
Do you, I know, like, we don't actually know, but do you get the feeling that this non-traditional Legend of Zelda, the 2 Animal Crossings, and the 2 Metroids were very just rushed filler to make sure that they had something to talk about?
They feel a little fillery, yes, because they aren't seismic megatons, but who could have predicted them in the first place?
I did. Animal Crossing, at least.
Not the same way. It's basically Fortune Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one's Fortune Street and one's basically Mario Party.
You mean Happy Homemaker?
Oh, yeah.
Happy Homemaker is not Mario Party so much as it is just decorating the houses and picking exteriors.
Other Mario Tennis?
Oh yeah, I'm keeping a skeptical eye on that one until we see more, because Mario Tennis Open on 3DS underwhelmed a lot of people. This time they're adding the Mega Mushroom as the gimmick, so maybe it could be a return to that crazy, wonderful Mario Party style Mario Tennis we saw on the GameCube.
And then, kind of, as Alex said before, the last big announcement was Mario Maker. Previously confirmed that you can make levels that would seamlessly transition between Super Mario Brothers and then New Super Mario Brothers.
But also Mario 3 and Mario World
have been added, yep. And
I
think
the real impetus for the footage, I think, was them just sharing their Mario development memories, and ultimately it built up to a fundraiser for uploading videos. We didn't really learn a lot per se. We saw more. I think what we saw on Sunday night was a little more exciting, but it's always good to see more of Mario Maker. Nintendo wanted to refute their position that this game is for everybody. A pronoun you will hear described a lot for their games.
Yeah, I could see everybody playing this game. I just don't see everybody making levels in this game.
That is true, unless the tutorial is really accessible. Remember WarioWare DIY?
No, I don't.
That was a WarioWare game where you made your own micro games. It ended up kind of bombing at retail, I think, because people were put off by the idea of making the games instead of playing them. So what Super Mario Maker has to do is make the tools easy to understand and have enough pre-made levels in there to show why it's fun to make your own levels. I think everybody who gets the game is going to have fun being a sadist, though.
Did you, I know in other Make Your Own, you have to prove that you can beat the level before you can publish it.
That was one of the things we learned about Mario Maker today, was you have to be able to beat a level in order to upload it online.
So we won't just see this crazy shenanigans of bullet hell that's impossible. And theoretically, it was possible for somebody to beat it at one point.
Oh, you'll see bullet hell. You just the goal is to make it to the flagpole. That's how you'll know. Have you seen the box art, by the way, for Super Mario Maker?
No.
The packaging looks awesome. It comes in a big yellow box and it includes an art book.
Definitely a very old school touch.
This is a much better anniversary gift for Mario as a franchise than what we got for the 25th anniversary, where they put a Super Nintendo game on a disc.
Brooks, any other thoughts from the conference?
Not really.
Alex?
Well, here's hoping for more announcements throughout the week and for a better next E3.
Yeah, I mean, next E3, you have to imagine that NX is going to have a presence. And I would almost guess that Nintendo might go back to actual press conference instead of Nintendo Direct.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. They will have NX next year because Reggie lampshaded the fact that they are doing that, and they're doing mobile, and they're doing Universal theme park stuff. That was pretty brazen, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, especially Universal theme park, because I mean, it is the Electronic Entertainment Expo. That's not exactly, in theory, the target audience anymore, but. Moving on to Square-Enix. I'll be honest, I did not get a chance to watch this show live, so I did just read the news coming out of it.
I saw it live, so I can fill you in.
So what was your feeling from the show, seeing it play out?
Well, among the highlights, we got a new Nier sequel developed by Platinum Games. They showed more footage for Kingdom Hearts 3. They had a repeat of the trailers for World of Final Fantasy and the remake of Final Fantasy VII. Very exciting. They showed more of Hitman. They showed Deus Ex. They showed Star Ocean 11. And, yeah, those are among the highlights, I would dare say.
Yeah, you bring up the trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then I also saw that
which they also showed Tomb Raider Go.
World of Final Fantasy, and we can, before we jump into Tomb Raider Go, like they almost like are building an argument for why they shouldn't have had a press conference by showing exactly the same like repeat.
They showed the exact same repeat, but this time the producer of the Kingdom Hearts series was at the podium to introduce it.
Yeah.
He's the same fellow who told us to please be excited for E3 2 years ago. And he also trolled everybody at the PlayStation Experience with the Final Fantasy VII PC port announcement.
Yeah, I remember everybody freaking out over that announcement. I wonder if they did have this in mind the entire time.
If they did, it was an expert troll.
Probably.
Just Cause 3 comes out December 1st, 2015.
Just because.
Which is really surprising that they're willing to skip Black Friday. That's normally very pivotal for companies' strategy.
Far Cry 3 skipped Black Friday in 2012 as well, and it did really well. It made the Far Cry franchise viable again. So it's just all about the game and what time it comes out.
I agree with you that a strong game will end up being strong regardless of its release date. Speaking of which, Rise of the Tomb Raider coming out the same day as Fallout 4. Do you think that they're going to hold strong, or do you think they're going to move away from that?
I think that both games will do fine. Both of them will be on Xbox One at the very least, and they're gunning for similar but different audiences. One's an action adventure, and one is an open world RPG.
Fair enough. World of Final Fantasy. The cutest, most adorable game that Square Enix will ever make, possibly, outside of Chocobo Mystery Dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any interest in this?
I like the character designs. They look very Tetsuya Nomura-ish.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be fun.
So, no show from Final Fantasy 15. Does that surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me. They're still
No.
working on it. The same way that Nintendo did not bring the new Zelda to Wii U to E3 because they're working on it. They chose at Square-Enix to keep focusing on development. In fact, they just put out that patch for the demo, and that tells you how hard they're working on it. And I'm not being sarcastic either.
Why would you patch the demo? It seems like such a waste of time or resources. Like,
User feedback.
How extensive was that patch?
I don't have enough familiarity with it, but I'm assuming it's varied.
Interesting. I played the demo. I wasn't planning on playing the patched demo. So Tomb Raider Go. What were your thoughts on that, Alex?
It looks like a nice tailor-made for mobile game. I love the art style, by the way.
Does it play like Hitman Go did, just now with the Tomb Raider skin on it?
I don't know Hitman Go very well. It looked like a runner to me.
Oh, okay. And then a lot of RPGs, Star Ocean, Integrity, and Faithlessness, coming to North America in 2016. PS4 exclusive. The sequel to Nier, the World of Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then an unannounced, not unannounced, but basically a project concept. Project Setsuna. No real information known. I guess just to get people to know its name.
Yeah, well, who knows what it'll look like.
So, anything. So after seeing everybody's show, or reading it, we're at the benefit of having gone through all the major press conferences for consoles. Who do you feel? What was your main takeaway from E3 in general? Who won? What game are you most excited for?
I think Monday was the best day overall so far. It was a day for the books in E3 history. Between Sony and Microsoft, they had amazing announcements, great games. Today was a little underwhelming for me, and the rest of the show, we don't know what's coming, but I'd say that Microsoft and Sony were pretty at the head for who did the best. Microsoft had the better conference overall, and Sony had the better announcements.
I'll agree with that 100%. So I think that's a good summary. And I guess just, look forward to hopefully seeing some games announced on the showroom floor that didn't get a chance to make it in the conference that, will catch people's eye.
Aye.
Anything else you want to add, Brooks? You don't have to.
Kingdom Hearts for mobile for the smartphones. That was interesting.
The Unchained Key.
Yeah,
it's interesting because they already have it.
So it's Brooks' first time seeing it, so it's still interesting for him. And I didn't know it was out already.
As long as it doesn't have free-to-play elements, it's going to be okay.
So, all right. Well, thank you out there for listening. Let us know what your favorite moment of E3 was in the comments. What press conference got you the most excited? If you want to hear more from us, you can follow Alex
at AlexIR Esquire, AlexIRESQ.
And you can follow Brooks.
Follow me on Twitter at NavyMVG or hit me up on my IGN as Military Veteran Gamer.
I'm Chris Peterson. I'm NerdyXP on Twitter. You can check out my blog for video games and movies and television, nerdyxp.com. And then I do a podcast on Tuesdays regarding movies and television, the NerdyXP Cinecast. And then regularly scheduled Gamecast episodes are on Thursdays. And thank you out there for listening. And thank you, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Brooks.
You're welcome.
I hope that we were able to help you guys with your E3 IQ. Level up, friends.